All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Here we're going to be understanding how to use point slope form in this video number 10, given two ordered pairs in order to find the slope m. So we'll be using the formula y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. Okay, this is your point slope form. Point slope form. We're given two sets of ordered pairs, and in this example, we have x is -2, y is -2, x is 2, y is 2. We have our two ordered pairs. First thing you want to do in step one is organize your values. So this is my first x. So I'm just going to label this x number 1 or x1, which automatically makes my second x x2. And since this is my x1, this has got to be my y1 value. -2 is my y1 value, which automatically makes this one my y2 value of 2. So I want to organize these values because I'm going to be substituting them into the formula so I can solve and determine what my slope is. Okay. If I was given the slope value and I was missing a y value, well, I could substitute my slope value, I could substitute my two x values, and I could substitute one of my y values. Then I would simplify and solve for y in order to find that missing y value. Hint, hint, this is what you're going to need to do in order to answer one of those two questions I introduced to you in video number 1. All right, so you want to go ahead and organize your values, right? We labeled our ordered pair, x's and y's, x1, x2, y1, y2. You want to organize it so you can see it here. So I wrote down my x1, my x2 values. My x1 was -2. My x2 value was a +2. I'm writing them here, organizing them. My y1 value was a -2, a -2. My y2 value here was a +2. So by organizing, it's going to make it a lot easier to substitute into the formula, the point slope form, in order to solve and find our slope. Right? So step 2, substitute your values, solve for m, find the slope using PEMDAS, order of operations. Parentheses are first, then exponents, then multiply, then divide, then add and subtract your last steps. So I'm showing you here. Well, let me bring it down. Let me show you my organized values. There we go. That'll make it a little bit easier to follow along. So I wrote down the point slope form, as you see here, and I'm going to be substituting into this formula or form, right? One at a time, my x1 value, my which makes this automatically my x2 value. So I'll substitute my x2 there. I don't know what my slope is, right? But I know my x1 is a -2. And that automatically makes this my y2 value. So I'll substitute my y2 value here. And that's what I'm kind of showing you in this first step. I don't know what m is. I'm going to solve for m. So I'm going to go one at a time very, very slowly. Okay? So I substituted my y1 value, which is -2, right here. Right? My y1 value is right here. So I substituted a -2. Okay? I substituted my x1 value up here, which is -2, for where you see the x1 here, -2. All right. I want to point out in a moment that's a negative invisible 1. -1 times a -2 is a +2. -1 times a -2 is a +2. I just want to give you heads up. That's where we're going. But before we do any of that, I want to finish organizing and substituting my values. So here I'm still missing that y2 value. Up here, my y2 value is 2. So where you see this y, I'll substitute my y2 value. All right. I'm still missing from over here. I'm missing my x or x2 value. I look up here, my x2 value is 2. x2 value here is 2. I'll substitute 2 where I see that x2 value. And again, I'm showing you my y2 value is right here. My y1 value, my y2 value is here. I substituted a 2 for my y2 value, right? I substituted a positive 2 for my x2 value, and you see that here, okay? And again, a negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. A negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. And we're moving forward. So I'm showing you my invisible negative 1, right? Remember, if you've been following with me, I have a video I created on invisible ones. Please help yourself. Watch that video. It's going to clarify a lot of things for you. So negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. Negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2, right? So I'm just going to rewrite this 2 plus 2. You see that here, 2 plus 2 equals m times 2 plus 2, right? That's the 2 here. That's the 2 here. Negative and the negative make a positive 2, and I'm showing you that here. So this is simplified. I'm going to add 2 plus 2, which gives me 4, equals m times the quantity of 2 times 2, which will give me 4. And I'm showing that you here in this next step. I hope I haven't lost you. I'm trying to go very slow, step by step, right? So again, 2 plus 2 is 4, equals that 1m, equals the 1m, and 2 plus 2 is 4. I'm showing you that here. So this is 1m times 4, right? Now it's a one-step equation. 4 equals 1m times 4. Anything, a variable next to a number means to multiply. That's 1m. So 1 times 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4m equals 4. I'm one step away for getting the variable m or slope all by itself. What is the opposite of multiplying? 4 times n, it's to divide 4 to both sides. 4 divided by 4 is 1m. 4 divided by 4 is 1. I'm showing you that here. Raise this up a little bit more. And you can see here 4 divided by 4, not just to one side of the equal sign. I got to do it to both sides of the equal sign. 4 over 4 equals 4 over 4, which is 1m. 1m equals 4 over 4. Now remember, with the slope, there's always a y over x value. So 4 is represented by my y. 4 is represented by my x. So rise over run. Or if you simplify this, anything over itself is 1. But there's still that invisible 1 in the denominators, y over x. So 1 over 1 is my slope. 1 is my slope, with an invisible 1 representing my x value. 1 representing my y value. Y over x, even if it's that invisible 1. Please do yourself a favor, watch my invisible 1 videos. So 1 for y, 1 for x. My slope equals 1 over 1. Or just 1. But there's always an y over x for every slope. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me.